This video reviews the impact of share classes on plan costs, explaining how identical funds can have different expenses based on share class selection. It also highlights the importance of choosing lower expense share classes to reduce costs and align the plan sponsor's cost sharing philosophy. Share classes are a very important concept to understand. Many investment providers, mutual funds, financial services, etc., offer identical funds with different management expenses. And those management expenses are what differentiates one share class from another. All of the share classes of the same fund are managed exactly the same. And the only difference is the expense, and the proportion of the expense that's different is the revenue sharing expense. So we see that with the chart at the bottom here, we go from R3 to R6, R3, R4, R6. And the revenue sharing on the extreme right side of the chart shows that the largest revenue sharing that is additional an expense being associated with the lowest numerical share class, in other words, R3, is 65 basis points or 0.65%. R4, 0.35%. R6, zero revenue sharing. Now, R typically stands for retirement, and there are different categories of share classes for institutional retirement buyers, but know that and the expense ratio differs by the same amount, and the returns will differ by the same amount as well. So what are the implications of these various share classes? Well, they're quite important. Lower expense share classes will reduce total plan costs, obviously by definition, assuming that other administrative expenses remain the same. Share classes are meant to vary based on the plan sponsor's expense philosophy. In other words, who does the plan sponsor want to be paying the cost of the plan? Do they want to be paying a portion? Do they want employees to be paying the entire amount? Do they want them to pay the entire amount in an explicit dollar amount fee or embedded in the investment expense? Those are the basic considerations to this point about the philosophy of the plan sponsor. In real-life applications, multiple share classes will often appear within one plan's menu. And the main reason for that, certainly not the only reason, but the main reason is because you go through the life of the 401k plan. You're making investment changes, and you may be removing a fund. And when you're replacing the fund, you're always, or should always be, asking for the lowest available share class for that fund. So that's going to create this imbalance. This unequal revenue sharing that's become an issue as well. That's discussed in a future educational module, by the way, and in some detail. The most important point to remember here is that your plan's pricing methodology is what the plan sponsor needs to understand. What that methodology is, what the ingredients are, and they need to use that to determine reasonableness and total plan cost.